Hello, welcome back to Nemours Book Nook. I'm George, and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag, which a lot of people actually do as their first video, but I already have a couple videos out, but I decided to do it because, first of all, it sounds interesting, and second of all, it is definitely a video that I would want to look back onto from time to time to kind of remind myself why I started this channel and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So yeah, let's go. The questions I got off the internet or one of the other Booktube Newbie Tag videos, and that I actually really enjoy watching them. And so let's begin with the first question. So the first question is, why did you want to start this channel? Okay, so it's kind of the decades-old answer of, I didn't have enough people or didn't have people with whom to talk books in real life, so I decided to talk about them with strangers on the internet, which I found actually that a lot of people on Booktube are pretty awesome. I've been a part of the community for a while now, and I really like interacting with people, so I kind of decided to try to make my own community, and here we are. So, another reason is I just like to ramble about books. Finally, I kind of want to have this channel as a bit of an archive, basically as something that I can look back to in like years from now, and just see what I was reading, what my thoughts were on what I was reading, and just really use it as a bit of a time capsule. And remind myself what I entertain myself with in the year of 2024. Right. So that's the first question. So moving on to the second question, what are some unique things that you can bring to Booktube? Right. So, basically, everyone has their own style, right? Everyone has their own unique, view of the world, unique view on the books they read, and that's pretty much what makes Booktube so unique and so interesting to watch. And you can really see so many different viewpoints on the same book, and you can see so many different things that some people have noticed that you might have completely missed and completely went over your head. So it's why I really love watching different reviews on the same book once I've finished it, because it's a really fresh sort of way to see how someone else has experienced the book. So I just want to be a voice in that, and I want to really bring my own unique viewpoint on the books that I read. Also, something extra, I suppose, I sometimes read in different languages. I prefer to read the books in the language that they were written in, which I can do for Bulgarian, English, and French. Right, moving on to the third question. Where's the fourth one? I think it's the third one. Right. What are you most excited about on your new channel? Right. So, as I already said, I'm most excited about sharing my thoughts on books, developing my skills as a reviewer, learning to, dive deeper into books, learning to kind of have more things that I sort of look for in books, try to really understand the meaning of what I'm reading. And, I've also been very impressed, as I said, by the community. So I want to be excited to be part of that community, basically. And, as I said, again, I'm going to mention the archive. I'm excited about having this archive that I can look back on and marvel at, hopefully, or be embarrassed by. Both work, I suppose. Right. Why do you love reading? That is the next question. This question actually makes me think of a bunch of quotes that I see all the time on the internet, and I kind of want to sort of focus on one quote. So this quote is by George R. Martin, and it says, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one." So basically this summarizes pretty well my thoughts on reading, is that I really like to use reading, first of all, as an escape from reality, because God knows we all need that these days. It's also for enjoyment. I just love the feeling of reading. I just enjoy it. It is sort of this exploration into countless ideas, into countless thoughts and ponderings that different people have had. Reading for me is really the way I learn about the world, and about the sort of the vast imagination that every single human being has. I'm constantly, impressed and just amazed at what people can come up with, and in the end, how relatable those things can be to a whole bunch of people, which is very impressive, I would say. And it's beyond fascinating, I would say. Right, moving on. Now we have the next question. When did you start reading? Wow, so I started reading actually at about the age of maybe 5 or 6. I actually started with the Moomin books, so sort of like Moominland Midwinter or Common in Moominland. And that was because I was living in Finland at the time, and the Moomins are actually quite popular there. I did read them in English though. So this was definitely something that sparked my interest. It's it's something like a fantasy story, basically. It's made for kids, but Moomins are also kind of like those, contain these kind of deeply philosophical themes in them. Something like the closest analogy I can think of is Alice in Wonderland, which kind of hit different when you read them as an adult. I haven't tried reading the Moomins as an adult yet, but that's something I would definitely do. And from there I moved on to my first fantasy, which was The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. I think the first book that I read there was Halfling's Gem, because I tend to read stuff out of order sometimes. It's not such a big deal there, but still. So yeah, that's basically what sparked my love for fantasy, and why to this day R.A. Salvatore is my favorite author. So yeah, I've been reading books for a long time, and I don't intend to stop. Right, what series got you into reading? Kind of answered that question with the previous one, but The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. This is, to this date, my favorite series, and it's not just nostalgia. If you've seen my video about my plans for 2024, I am starting a full reread of The Legend of Drizzt, from 1 to the last book that is out. So I'm fully intending to relive everything that I've missed and everything that I started with when I was at the tender age of 6. So yeah, I would say that these books they appeal to me on every level. So yeah, return, and yeah, expect reviews on them on the channel. I definitely intend to do reviews on all, if not all of them, at least most of them. So yeah, next up is the next question. What challenges do you think you will face when you start a booktube channel? Well, I think the main challenges, at least for the moment, are kind of struggling to be consistent with uploading and with coming up with content that I'm happy with and that I am happy with sort of sharing. And the other thing is perfectionism. Though, in the sense that I do tend to tinker a lot with things, I do tend to kind of be bothered by the smallest things in my videos, like if something is out of place, or for example, in one of my last videos, I forgot to cut out one part that really annoyed me, and I was like, oh no, how could I have missed this, and kind of berating myself. But I guess it's something that every creator has, and something that you kind of just get used to over time. Things aren't perfect, and one of the reasons I do love Booktube is that the focus is really not on these kind of fancy effects, fancy editing and B-roll and whatever. It's more about just a person in front of a bookcase, or not even a bookcase, a person just sitting on a sofa talking about books, which I absolutely love. And that is one of the reasons that I chose this niche, other than the fact that I love books, obviously. And so yeah, definitely some of those challenges are there. And yeah, also, I'm not exactly well-versed in social media. I mean, I've been mostly a user, not a creator, so there are some things that I still have to learn about YouTube, about Instagram, and so on. And it is a challenge, definitely. But, I mean, it's something that can be learned, so I think it'll be all right. Another thing is that I actually use this channel as an excuse to learn how to edit videos, so that is another challenge. I do edit my own videos, and that is definitely a challenge, but I'm learning so much, and I'm happy about that. And the last question is... oh no, it's not the last question. All right, before the last question. What kind of books do you like to read? Well, mainly fantasy, science fiction, and classics. These are kind of the 3 categories that I mostly stay in. I do want to definitely try some other things. I do like historical books as well, though, like historical fiction and so on. I do dabble in philosophy books sometimes. Most recently, the Pensée by Blaise Pascal. And so yeah, philosophy sometimes, but it's more of a sort of a rare occurrence than it is a habit. But I do intend to change that, so I might have some content on philosophy as well on the channel. I don't have basically strong preferences or strong dislike of a genre. I will read anything if it's either well recommended to me or it looks interesting. So yeah, and the final question is, what are you reading right now? Got it here, Lord of Chaos, and I am almost done with it. And Persepolis Rising as well, the 7th book of the Expanse. And most recently, I did finish the Percy Jackson. I'm not sure how well it's seen on my little e-reader, but this is the first book of the Percy Jackson books. It was a reread, also inspired by the show that is very good, by the way. They are doing a very, very decent adaptation, which I'm very happy with. And I'm going to be starting Homeland soon, which is part of my big just reread. So yeah, that was the Booktube Newbie Tag. A bit chaotic, but that's how things always are. So yeah, hello Booktube, glad to be here. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.